Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very, very exciting day because we are going to be taking a look at the Nintendo Switch 2. How exciting! Yes, the Nintendo Switch 2 is here. It is day one. Not only are we going to look at the Nintendo Switch 2, but we're also going to have a little look at the Pro Controller, and we are going to have a quick look at one of the Nintendo Switch 2 games, which is Mario Kart World, which is very, very exciting. We're also going to have a little bit of a comparison between that and the Nintendo Switch OLED, which I have here. It's very exciting. But before we get into that, we actually have to get the thing out of the box. So let's do it. Alright, so here we have the Nintendo Switch box, and we're going to open it here at the bottom. Lovely jubbly. So let's do that now, shall we? And this is what we have in the box. First of all, greeted with the display of the Nintendo Switch 2. Like that. Lovely. And we have one controller, which immediately just feels much bigger than the controllers on the Nintendo Switch 1. So we have a red one and a blue one, although they both look black pretty much, other than the sort of detailing. And then under the box we have some more stuff. What else have we got in here? We have some important information, a HDMI cable, a couple of little bumper things to go on it. Love that. And in here, we have a little controller mount for your joysticks, which is good. We've got a plug, English plug, love it. USB-C cable. That's different from the old Switch. It actually has an adapter instead of just being like a straight up plug that's just always plugged in. Okay, and in here we have the dock. And that is everything, I believe. Look at that. Very different in design. It's got this like sort of rounded shape to it. I really like that. I much prefer it actually to the original dock. We can open up the back here, just like in the original. And in there we have a LAN port, the HDMI, and the power cable, USB-C power cable. No USBs. Oh no, we do. I was wrong. The USBs are on the outside, somewhere accessible. Makes sense. So we've got two USB-A ports as well. Love that. And then obviously on the Switch you have the USB-C on top as well as that, which is good to know, but we'll get onto that in a second. So we'll just shut this up for a moment. We've got an ultra high speed certified HDMI cable, which is nice to see. Interesting to see whether that will do 4K 120. I'm assuming it will. Some documentation. We'll just get all the plastic off of this, shall we? USB-C, one bumper, two bumper, one Joy-Con, two Joy-Con, and the Switch 2 itself. Lovely. Okay, so we have Switch 2. On the back we've got the little kickstand. That's really nice. Look at that. Fully adjustable like on the Switch OLED, so that's nice to see. But it's obviously hollow. You can hold it, I guess. I don't know why you want to do that. Probably end up breaking it. You've got the pins on the side here for the Joy-Cons. We've got at the top volume, what's probably some sort of reset button, power button, and then your game card port with your headphone jack. So game card port, that feels a lot more substantial than the on the Switch 1. That's a lot more substantial. Actually, also easier, I think, to get out. I like that. That's good. And then at the bottom, we've got our speakers. We have speakers. We've got like ventilation at the top. USB-C on the top is obviously important. USB-C on the bottom as well. And that's really good. I'm a big fan. It looks really nice. And obviously, we got our places to put our Joy-Cons. So Joy-Cons just sort of magnetically attached like that. That is nice. Lovely. And then they don't pull off, so that's something that I've noticed, that there's a button that you can push to get them off. You can get them off by yanking them, but it's not easy. It requires a bit of force, but you push the button and it just sort of does it nice and gently. Lovely. And I think the main thing that people want to know is how does it feel, because on the original Switch it's quite rattly. This one, it just feels really sort of high quality. I actually prefer the feel of this a lot more. It's got this matte finish, so the black matte, it just feels really high quality. It feels like you can grip it really nicely, and it feels really quality. It's much bigger, which feels a lot more ergonomic, especially for my hands, because that on the normal Switch isn't great. It just feels a lot taller. It feels like there's a lot more space between the top and the buttons. You're not sort of like cramping your hands up to hold it. That's really nice. Cool. I also think these are bigger. We'll get onto a comparison in a second. Home button, C button, lovely. Well, quickly before we switch the thing on, let's take these Joy-Cons off. Let's just try them with the bumpers. The bumpers are a bit different, so you just stick them on like so. Same thing to get them off. Yeah, you just sort of push them off. And they can also be used as a mouse, apparently. We'll get onto that in a minute. But that works nicely. Love it. And then we got our normal buttons on there as well. So even without the bumpers, you still have the same big buttons, which is much nicer than the original Joy-Cons, because the original Joy-Cons you have these tiny little buttons to use as bumpers, whereas these are much nicer. Lovely. All the buttons feel quite nice to press. Well, I quite like the feel of the Joy-Con, the actual little like joystick. That feels nice. You sort of like almost rubberized, but not. It's like very plastic, but high quality plastic. Power it on so you guys can see. Nintendo English, Europe. Let's get it on the internet. Obviously still got the touch screen, which is ideal for things like this, like typing. System update, data will now be downloaded. Lovely, we can continue setting up while it's doing that, which is nice. You can use Nintendo Switch 2 console in a variety of play styles. Yeah, we're aware. Yeah, adjust to stand. AC adapter can be connected to the top, so you can charge whilst it's like that. Yeah, I love that. Hold the release button, pull gently outwards. That's actually really satisfying. Okay, select next with the detached Joy-Con controllers. It feels much more satisfying than the normal Nintendo Switch, I have to say. Yeah, that works nicely. Looks good. Okay, and while that's just doing its update, let's have a little look at what we got here. So we got here is the Pro controller. We're not going to switch it on now. Don't want to confuse the thing, but we'll open it up and have a look inside. So pull this out. We have a USB-C to USB-A cable, and we have the controller. Simple as that. Inside here, and there's no other documentation. That feels nice. Yeah, it's got that same sort of feel as the rest of the Switch 2. Like the dock feels quite cheap, scratchy plastic. Do you know what I mean? The rest of it feels really nice. The Joy-Cons, the actual Switch console itself, the Pro controller, they feel really, really nice. Oh, and you've got your sort of back paddles there that you can sort of program, which is really cool. Your normal ones up here. Massive, absolutely massive buttons on this thing, which is not a bad thing, I have to say. They're not mechanical. Doesn't feel like they're mechanical buttons, but they feel nice. Be interesting to see, are they Hall effect joysticks? Doesn't say. It feels really nice to use though. I hope they are Hall effects, just so it lasts longer, but they feel really good. Just sort of like weightless and smooth. Maybe that'll wear over time, but at the moment that feels absolutely fantastic. Okay, put that to a side. Update is done. We can transfer data from a Nintendo Switch console to this one. Shall we do that? That'll be interesting. I guess it saves me a bit of time long term. Shall we give that a go? We'll begin system transfer. Let's get the original Nintendo Switch out. Okay, you can see the size difference there immediately. Also, a lot brighter. This is. I don't know whether the brightness is like turned down. Yeah, that's max brightness. Makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Crikey. Well, waiting for that to go. Let's open up Mario Kart, shall we? So we're ready to go and put this in. So it says 1 to 4 player, which is interesting, I think, with Mario Kart, because Super Smash Bros. On the Switch 1, it's like 8 player or something ridiculous, if you've got enough controllers, whereas this is only 4 player, but I guess you have to split screen it, which is a big part of that. There we go. So inside there, I'll see massive box. Look at the size of the card. It will never stop being funny. There's our nice little bright red card. Look at it. Beautiful. And back, there, little rattle. Nice. Mario Kart World. Stick that in a moment's time. Nintendo Switch 2. That was nice. We're now downloading games, it looks like, which is cool. And while we're here, let's quickly stick in our cartridge. Before we go any further, we'll quickly go along here. So we've got virtual game cards, of which I have 1, 2, 3, 4. News. I like the little animations when it fires into something. Okay, so there we go. The Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. You have to pay for this, apparently. It would have been amazing if it was free. Let's have a look on the eShop. Let's go and see what's... Can't believe I'm buying this. Here we go. Oh, here we go. It's very cool, I have to say. I'll have a play, and I'm going to let you guys know my actual initial thoughts. I think I'm very impressed so far. It was always going to be better than Switch. I'm going to get into it and want to see how much better than the Switch is it actually. I think it is the just standard next step forwards. So I'm excited to get on, play some games, play some Switch 1 games, play, at the moment, my only Switch 2 game, and just see what we think. But leave it with me, and you'll see future Sam in about a couple of seconds who will tell you. So I've been messing around for a few hours, and I think to summarise my first impressions with the Nintendo Switch 2 is that this is what they've needed to have done a while ago. Just the performance is just so much sharper and crisper than the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch feels out of date, like just from playing it. Whenever I go on it, I'm just like, ugh, it feels a bit like, ugh, and this feels so sharp. Like the 120 FPS screen just looks absolutely fantastic. The Pro controller, I'm a big fan of. I did notice after I was playing for about an hour just on the Switch as it was, I was noticing my hands were starting to sort of get a bit uncomfortable, a bit sore, which is not a problem for short gaming sessions, but I can imagine myself wanting sort of something a bit more comfortable. So either jumping in and sticking the joysticks into this thing, or going for the Pro controller, which I've been playing with as well, and that just feels so nice. That feels really, really good, and I'm looking forward to playing some more games with that. But I am pretty well impressed. I think what was quite good about this, I say it's good, I don't know if it's good about this or if it's bad about the Joy-Cons, is that this is about a similar price to just a new pair of Joy-Cons. So if you want to get a second pair of Joy-Cons, the benefit of the Joy-Cons is you technically get another 2 remotes if you're playing a game like Mario Kart, whereas this only counts as 1, but this is much nicer, I have to say. I really like Mario Kart World. I think it looks really good. It feels really different, and it feels like a new game as opposed to just another Mario Kart game with the different tracks and different skin slapped on it. It actually feels like something with a bit more substance to it, which is nice. I'm looking forward to spending a bit of time playing that. And the other thing I'm looking forward to doing is trying some normal Nintendo Switch games, but on this. For example, Minecraft that you can see there. I always found that if I played that with my kids on the Switch, it wasn't the best experience. I'll be interested to see whether the performance of the Switch 1 version of Minecraft is improved by playing it on the Switch. I hope it is, and I hope it's more responsive and therefore is a nicer experience in general, but that's something that I'll sort of touch on in my full review. But yeah, I think it's a great console. I think if you're looking to buy a Nintendo Switch now, you've got to consider this one first. Unless you're going for something budget and you're looking for something cheap, I would definitely be starting with this now. This is going to future-proof you for a long time. It's backwards compatible with the Switch, but also it has everything you want from it, and it just feels much nicer. It physically feels nicer, performance-wise feels nicer, and it opens you up to the future of this platform. Whether or not I invest at the moment in getting new Nintendo Switch 2 games, I don't know, because Nintendo Switch 2 games are delightfully expensive, but it's something to consider. Guys, that is all from me today. I'm going to go take this and play Mario Kart with my wife. So if you have any questions to ask me and you want me to put in my main review, leave them in the comments below. Please, if you enjoyed the video, drop it a like. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Whoop.